Bonjour mes enfants, c'est votre uncle. Oui, c'est Uncle Dan, l'homme des disques, Uncle Dan the Vinyl Man. Back with another very infrequent episode of Uncle Dan's Vintage Vinyl. I'm sorry for my delays, or maybe I'm sorry that I'm back. You know, you got to come back into a world with Uncle Dan in it. Sucks to be you. I've been meaning to do this one for some time. I want to call this Adventures in Error-Oticism. Error-Oticism. I'm struck by album covers where it's like, I think they're trying to be erotic and failing badly. So the first up I have is an album, Twist, Ray Anthony from 1962 on Capitol Records. So, you know, a decent, you know, that's a good one, right? Decent label. I got this, and I got 2 copies of it, and there aren't 2 copies of it in the sleeve. So if you want one, well, yeah, you come visit me and you get it. Anyway, this has the twist and other things. Bunny hop twist, twist and rock around the clock, tequila with a twist, night train twist. Everything is, Peter Gunn twist. It's just, pop songs done with kind of a twist version. Ray Anthony was a big band leader who had a bunch of, sold a bazillion records over the years. He was a trumpeter. This is from 1962. That's right. By 1962, he was pretty long in the tooth. The album is weird because it's like half of it has vocals done by like a young woman, trio or something like that, that are pretty entirely forgettable. About the other half of the album are instrumentals with Ray Anthony having a heck of a lot of fun on trumpet. So it's like, when it's the trumpet songs, when it's the instrumentals, it's like, this ain't so bad. When it's the vocal songs, this is a little sad. So, but I actually bought it, not not for the music, but because of the cover. Because this gal, with the shadows there on her eyes, she looks like. This looks like Night of the Living Dead, or Dance Night of the Living Dead. It's just horrible. I think they're saying, oh, look at this sexy woman. And, when you look at her on the back, the photo on the back, she's an attractive woman. Not dressed in a terribly sexy way, although for 62, I guess, daringly short skirt with, you can see her knees. But, she's, quite attractive young woman there. But, man, it's like, that cover photograph, it's like, if you're dating her, don't give up, don't stop dating her, or you're going to find your pet bunny boiled in your kitchen. I can't really recommend this album. It's just, half of it's okay, but you got to suffer through the other half. But anyway, Adventures in Error-Oticism number 1. Adventures in Error-Oticism number 2 is Limbo by Ivy Pete, Ivy with quotation marks around it. I guess it was a nickname, although I wouldn't know because I don't know who Ivy Pete is. Ivy Pete and his Limbo Maniacs. This is Somerset Records out of Media, Pennsylvania, which is a good place to have, records or other things like that because it is media. Anyway, this is, the Limbo craze. Jamaica Farewell, Little Brown Skin Girl, it's a Limbo, all D Way Home, things like that. It's all kind of the same thing. It's kind of fun. you know, if you wanted to find this and just get a decent, you know, this is what the limbo, the short-lived limbo craze was like. This is it. This is from '62 as well. On Somerset, let me see, is this the one? I don't think so. Oh no, it's okay. I thought though, you know, who goes to a limbo party dressed like that? I mean, nice-looking young woman, kind of a, you know, kind of an Annette Funicello or something like that. But why do you go for a limbo party like that? But, you know, I guess that, you know, you get to see her shapely lower legs from, you know, for '62, maybe that was daring enough. And I like the other people there at the limbo party, you know, the guys in their suits, you know, the guys in their suits. And then, of course, you've got the, you know, the happy, you know, your happy natives performing the limbo for you. I seem to have a be bleeding from here. Oh well. Anyway, that's cool. And I've tried to figure it out. I'm not sure that was a real photograph. It seems to me that this was cut and pasted together. This was some the early Photoshop, right? And then the final one is Hullabaloo, with a bunch of people who were quite good. Roy Orbison, Roger Miller, Bobby Freeman I didn't know, Betty Everett I heard of, Gene Pitney, formerly a big name, Maxine Brown I think I'd heard of, Lloyd Price, big name, Garnett Mims you hear of a little bit, Brooke Benton, and the Clovers I'd heard of some, but you know, Roy Orbison, you know, bow down before him, right? One of the great voices of all time. I forgot what song is on here, and they don't have the song listings on the back. They've just got, you know, other stuff. This is from '65, and Pickwick Records. This has one of the cool features that I like on some of these. I've got at least one other like this. Let's see if you can hear. That's the edge. It's got a serrated edge that. It's got a serrated edge on there that will just, you know, just amazing. Don't let your stylus hit that because it'll just slice it right off. The songs are okay. Predictably, the pressing quality is not all that great. I'm struck by the sexy dancer on there, who seems to be giving off sort of sexy, you know, assistant head of HR vibes or something like that. I'm not sure. It's just like, man, let's make this gal sexy, and it's like, you know, let's make her anti-sexy. Another adventure in eroticism. So of the three, I can actually curiously, you know, this is the one, if you want to just get something for fun, this is the one, that's the consistent one. Hullabaloo, I just say get the stuff you want on other stuff. It's not the best pressing. You don't want to make a mistake and get a stylus, stylus in, along the edge there. If you're dropping your stylus down on your album and it gets there, it's gonna just zip, and they'll just cut it right through. By the way, another use for this would be if you're a bricklayer and you miss your brick, your brick saw blade breaks on you, just chalk this into your brick saw. You cut right through bricks. But some quite good songs on it. The best songs on here, Roy Orbison. I can't remember. I think Garnett Mims has a song. I think Maxine Brown's quite good. Anyway, there are some songs on here that are quite good, and they're kind of lesser known. They're sort of stuff you don't think of much. Those are good, but for me, it was all about the covers, which is part of why I started doing the Uncle Dan's anyway. So anyway, that's it. Buy them, don't buy them, whatever you like. You go out and be yourself. Anyway, it's Uncle Dan the Vinyl Man saying, au revoir et aussi mes amis. À bientôt.